Like a light bulb flickering on, Laura saw another puzzle piece connect just as she made the same connection. But it was Nick who beat her to voicing it. The bomb at the Williamsburg police station was my fault. It was a line from William Walsh's suicide note. And now, it made sense. Terrible sense. "My brother was given a choice," James said, voice undeniably raw. He kept his eyes on the table as well as the fist he'd balled. He slammed that fist down hard. No one was surprised by it. "He was given a fucking choice, and he chose to keep his secret instead of expose it. A decision that got a lot of people killed." James cut a look filled with daggers to Victoria before throwing his chair back and standing. His chest heaved up and down, pulsing along with angry breaths. "James," Laura tried, but the junior agent wasn't having any of it. He left the room with nothing but pure anger in his wake. No one said anything for a moment. Victoria dropped her arms and let out a long breath. It reeked of frustration, exhaustion, and utter helplessness. And it was starting to become contagious. "You all need to watch him," Victoria ordered the team. "This job is hard, but when you drag in family, well, let's just say this case needs straight shooters, people with level heads and nerves, not loose cannons. That's the last thing we and this city need right now." Xander was already standing. While Ty had issues getting used to his newest partner, Jennifer, Xander had become fond of James. Friends, even. "I'm on it." He didn't wait for permission and left the room to follow James. If anyone could talk the man down, it was Xander. Laura knew that from experience. She'd once been on the receiving end of a surprisingly heartfelt and insightful speech given by the man when she was near her lowest. He could get through to James. "I feel like we're in a TV show," Ty said after the door shut. "One where the plot is a simple damned if you do, damned if you don't." He shook his head. He was the oldest of the CMU agents at 36, aside from Victoria. But most days it didn't show. Today, it did. Lines of wear and tear, emotional and physical, dragged down his expression. "At least now we know what we're dealing with," Nick spoke up. He pushed the tip of his index finger down on the tabletop. He tapped it once for every point he made. "So far, our targets seem to be powerful, influential people in key positions throughout the city, all with what our whisperer deems as dark or dirty secrets. He gives his targets a choice, exposure or innocents' deaths on their conscience," Jennifer said, looking up from the notepad she'd produced. "It isn't enough to flat out kill his targets. He wants them to suffer for what they've done," Laura finally said. She looked at the phone as she spoke. It surprised her how much she felt exposed at the moment. Laura could count on her hand how many people she'd truly trusted in her life. With even fewer fingers on that same hand, she could count how many people she'd trusted had betrayed her confidence. However, Victoria Russo had never made that particular list. She'd been Laura's mentor, her boss, and her friend for years. She'd known everything there was to know about Laura, her past, the details of the Moretti case, the child she'd given up for adoption, all of it, and had never used it against her, never let her down. Victoria had been there for her through thick, thin, and everything in between. She'd been one of the very few rocks in Laura's life that hadn't been eroded or washed down the stream of time. And now, here Laura was, looking at the same woman she had spent years admiring and respecting, bend to the sick wills of a madman. It wasn't right. And Laura wasn't going to let it stand, either. "Including you. We have 4 victims so far who have been directly threatened by the bomber," Jennifer added.